Today, I'm going to be creating a duo that starts off as 40 overall players with the potential to eventually grow into legit NHL superstars. Okay, so this is the roster that we're working with. We got P. Shorzy at a 50 overall at the age of 18, but the glaring grace is the fact that the man has high franchise potential. He has the opportunity to become like a 90 plus overall player. We just got to develop him correctly. We also have some other good young pieces like Logan Cooley, Dylan Gunther, JJ Peterka is only 23. Barrett Hayton's not that old himself. Not a bad forward core at all. Defensively, Sergachev and Dursey will be our top line D pair. The rest of the D core definitely needs some work done. And in goal, a 50 overall, 18 years of age, Lepeka Pasta with franchise high potential. Him and Shorzy are going to be a dynamic duo, a 1-2 punch of a winger and a centerman that is going to help lead the Utah Mammoth to their very first Stanley Cup in franchise history. That is the goal of the video. First order of business, offer Logan Cooley a contract extension. Hopefully we get the guy signed. He's only 21 years old, already in 88. Barrett Hayton, I offered him a contract too. Everybody else is locked up and signed. Pekka Pasta, we had to sign him unfortunately to a $4.7 million contract until the year 2031-32. That could bite us in the ass, but not really. I mean, Vejmelka is going to be out of here in a few seasons anyways. It'll be interesting to see how well Pekka Pasta grows and how quickly he gets up there and overall. There we go. We got Logan Cooley locked up long term. Barrett Hayton decided to accept my offer as well. It is officially time to simulate season number 1. I'm not expecting to be a very good team. We got a 50 overall netminder potentially as our starter. And then we got P. Shorzy also on the top line alongside Cooley and Keller. So expect absolute dog shit. But the longer the video goes, the better we will become as the Utah Mammoth will not stop until we are Stanley Cup champions. So far, so good on the tank job here in Utah. We are 3-32 to start the season, which is absolutely terrible, just as planned. I did not realize it was going to be this bad. We quite literally could be the worst team in NHL history this season. I'm not even going to bother entering the trade deadline. Why would we? We are 7-53. Oh my. Hopefully we win a few games and we don't go down as the worst team ever, although it would make a pretty good comeback story if I turn the Utah Mammoth from the worst team ever to the best team ever. Utah is going to go down as one of the worst teams ever. 9-69-4 was our record. We only had 22 points on the season. By far and away the worst in the league. I mean, the good news is we got the best odds at getting the number 1 overall pick, which could be Gavin McKenna. We add him to this team, and who knows what'll happen. Shout out to Clayton Keller. The man was a -91 on the year. 25 goals, 65 points. We had no offense whatsoever. Cooley had 64. Gunther 62. Where the hell is P. Shorzy? Uh-oh. 22 goals is not bad. Although the guy was a -121 and had 258 penalty minutes. Straight up gooning out there on the ice. Only 5 apples on the season, but he's up to a 56 overall. Who knows what'll happen? But now for the moment of truth. Pekka Pasta played all 82. He went 9-69-3 and had an 806 save percentage. Oh no, the development is screwed. All right, we got to start splitting the games with Vejmelka. Although he played 33, which all were in relief. Only got 1 L on his record. It is what it is. Pekka Pasta, you are not the bona fide 82 game starter. It's not going to develop that way. We're going to have to take our time. We got McDavid having the most points at 114. The most goals will go to Nate Dogg. Nathan McKinnon with 62. Let me get this god-awful playoff run over and done with, and then we can start focusing on the offseason and trying to improve this roster to build a Stanley Cup contender. Well, the Winnipeg Jets somehow will get it done over the Caps in 6 games in the Cup Finals. I don't believe it. McDavid is going to win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. We got Nathan McKinnon, the Maurice Richard. Fox will take home the Norris. Demidov the Calder. Kyle Connor is going to win the Conn Smythe. What on earth? We got Philip Gustafson the Vezina, and the Selke will go to your mom's Aho, Sebastian Aho. Utah has won the draft lottery. There we go. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of worried. It is a very obvious pick at number 1. Gavin McKenna is that franchise guy, playmaker, can play the middle. We got a 1-2 center punch now. 84 overall out of the gate. We should be a lot better next season. I'm going to rely on the scouts that I already have. Noah Ta'amo. Okay, this guy's an enforcer. We need to bring some toughness to this team, and he's got top 6 medium D potential. I think we did go ahead and win the year number 1 NHL draft. I mean, we got Gavin McKenna. All right, Nick Schmaltz is a guy that is a unrestricted free agent. We got $18 million in salary cap to spend. We get to sign McKenna to his ELC, which is $1 million now. Alexander Kerfoot, I don't think I'm going to bring back. I got to be careful with the money. I want to leave enough salary to pick up some free agents over the course of the seasons. Qualify my RFAs. Pekka Pasta is now a 63. He's getting better. And for P. Shorzy, the man, the myth, the legend, that guy is officially a 61 overall. I think tanking might be the way to go until we start getting Shorzy and Pekka to decent overalls. 6.6 over the next 5 seasons for Nick Schmaltz. I'm not giving that man a clause in his contract. We will go 6.1, 5 seasons. Pretty much take it or leave it. What a beautiful face to become our next head coach. The GOAT Lorenzo Ray, associate head coach, dare I say. And then, of course, we got to include everybody. Melody Blackburn as our assistant head coach. We are going to have the sexiest coaching staff of all time. Now, I'm not expecting to be very good next season, so I'm not going to take a swing on anybody. It's only guys like Kopi, Breadman, a little bit older veterans that do not really fit our timeline, so we're just going to head on to season 2. Actually, Jack Roslovic could be that guy. What if we give him a full no movement clause into the contract? 3 seasons. We're probably not going to be a cup contender in 3 years. We'll give him 7.5, and we'll see if he signs. Not that surprising that Roslovic is going to reject an offer from the worst team of all time. He ended up signing in Boston. We are back to fixing the lineup, so Shorzy going to play on that top line with Cooley and Keller. We got to get Dylan Gunther alongside Gavin McKenna and JJ Pekturka. That is a second line. We also have some chemistry. Third line is decent of Tanev, Hayton, and Krause. TJ Ginla I might throw up there instead just to get a little bit of development. Defensively, it would be nice to trade for a D-man eventually, or just sign one in free agency, and then we're going Vejmelka and Pekka Pasta. I think we go Pekka as the starter yet again. I know we're going to be absolutely terrible. It's not going to be good for his numbers either, but that man is going to develop. He's all the way up at a 65 overall after 1 season. That is a 15 overall jump from last year. Pekka and Shorzy are on the same page right now. Any contract extensions that we need to do? Lost and Krause, no thank you. John Marino, hell no. Lamoureux would be the guy that I do. I mean, 22 years old. We give him like a multi-year extension. He doesn't want a lot of money. We can lock this man up long term. Let's go 5 years. I will go 6 seasons instead. $2.2 million. No clause in the contract. He's got top 4 medium potential. And of course, he's going to accept. Looking at the roster on paper, there's a lot of work to do before we can compete. It may take some time, but we'll get there. All right, Chris Knobloch, you didn't have to fucking tear apart the roster like that. I dead ass wanted to say make the finals, but it was not even an option. Even EA knows that we are a trash NHL team right now. Oh, the memes are incredible. It is officially time to set some season goals. P. Shorzy, let's go long-term goal. We're gonna have to go a stat-based challenge, of course, and goals, 15 of them. He scored 22 last season. He should easily dominate that. And now for Pekka Pasta, the starting goaltender that's not gonna have good stats. Let's go a long-term goal, and let's make sure he is the starter. Challenge for the #1 job. If you are fully confident in my abilities to bring Utah a Stanley Cup, hit that sub button, like the video, sit back, relax, and watch me absolutely cook. End of the season we are yet again, and Utah was not good. 22, 53, and 7, only 51 points, still dead last in the Central, and dead last in the entire National Hockey League. Look, we're not contending for titles right now. That'll come. Clayton Keller had a decent season, 37 goals, 73 points. Cooley had 69, minus 47. Shorzy, look at that. 28 goals, 57 points, and damn near 300 penalty minutes. The guy is a unit out there doing pretty much everything for the Utah Mammoth. Meanwhile, Pekka passes up to an 850, a 498 GAA. He's much better than he was last season, and he's up to a 71. I have zero complaints. Yet again, Connor will have the most points, this time at 126, and Austin Tummy Ache Matthews rewinding the clock a little bit before he got a tummy ache, and he's going to score 71 on the season. Connor had 55, McDavid 54, McKinnon, Cooch, Mishkov, and Draisaitl were the only other 50-goal scorers. God damn, Matvei Mishkov, 51 goals and 87 points at the age of 22. McDavid and the Oilers finally wrapped their willies and dominated Florida in a 5-game series. It almost brings a tear clear to my eye. We got McDavid again, the Lindsay, Art Ross and Hart, Austin Matthews, the Maurice Richard, Bouchard takes home his first ever Norris. Savoy's going to win the Calder, Connor the Conn Smythe, Linus Allmark somehow won the Vezina. Trash. And then for the Selke Trophy, that will go to Captain Nick Suzuki and La Habitants. Esti da Tabernac. Shout out to the Blackhawks. They got first overall. Utah slid all the way down to third. That means we're not getting Shorzy, or that means we're going to miss out on DuPont and Shorzy. Evgeny Malkin is going to call it a career on Seattle. Nicholas Backstrom is done on the Ducks. Brent Burns, the caveman, is gone. Maybe he's back to his cave. Ryan Suter's out of here. Petrangelo, Jack Johnson, and Ryan Ellis. Now, I'm not going to trade up to grab Chicago's pick #1 overall. We're going to stay at 3, and we're going to get who we get. So Landon DuPont went first overall. Vainanen, okay. And then third, who is available? We could take Kaltanainen, Kene, Schultz, Jacobison. Dude, these names are way out of hand. Forward-wise, we look a lot better than defensively, so I'm going to take the American 2A defenseman, 81 overall, and already has elite medium potential. That guy's going to be a star. The rest of the draft is going to be a little bit more tricky. We got a bunch of grinders that have scouted, enforcers, 2A guys. The scouts are not doing their jobs right now. That's what I'm trying to say. One thing I could do is check to see if there's any gems available, and there is most certainly not. These guys are listed as a bust. We got a lot of Alex Lafrenières in the draft this year. Clayton Keller has 1 year left on his contract. The man is a 91 overall at the age of 28. Usually I trade the guy, but he's got a no movement clause. Mikhail Sergachev now has a modified no trade clause, so we can deal him. Barrett Hayton's got 1 year left on his contract. Sean Dursey as well. There'll definitely be some signings that are going to be tough over the next couple seasons, but Kane, the American, Jonas Kane, already NHL ready at 18 years of age. The dude is going to start in our D-core. Unrestricted free agency, and Quinn Hughes wants 20 mil. That man wants to be paid. Now, we only have $28 million to spend, but we would be the best team to go after a 97 overall defenseman. How low can we bring down the AAV? That is the question. Oh no, this dude literally is going to be the first 20 mil man. I don't know. I feel like that's going to mess me up in my rebuild. I'm not signing Quinn Hughes. $20 million is a little bit too much. Now, Samuel Girard, he wants 10-4. Dear God, these contracts are out of control, man. Noah Cates, 28 years of age, wants a decent deal. Let's give him a full no movement clause. We can slightly lower the AAV just a touch. Get him down to 5.625 over the next 2 seasons. I will offer Quinn Hughes the contract with the sole intention of potentially trading the guy. We're not going to have any clause in the contract, and we'll see if he signs. Noah Cates is going to slime me out and reject my offer. He is headed to Philly, and Quinn Hughes has accepted. All right, who do we trade him for? Preferably, I would like a young defenseman in return. Anaheim would be perfect. We could get Mintakov, Zellweger, and maybe even Jackson Lacombe. Although Lacombe makes like $10 million. No, thank you. What about Matthew Schaefer? He doesn't really have that high trade value. He's still on his entry-level contract, 19 years of age. He's only got medium elite. Listen, don't worry. In the PHL update, this guy is getting updated. It's going to have to be Anaheim then. We're going to take Mintakov, Zellweger, and maybe even a forward. Bennik Seneca wouldn't be bad. He's got top 6 high, only an 83 overall. Throw him into the trade. And Quinn Hughes, you have just arrived in Utah. You are not staying long. Can we get even more back in return? Let me see. Quinn Hughes for Mintakov, Zellweger, Seneca, and Heat from the Anaheim Ducks, and it is a done deal. They said they almost feel guilty. Imagine! After absolutely fleecing the Anaheim Ducks, now they do get a 97 overall Quinn Hughes, but we get 2 defensemen in return. We get 2 forwards in return as well, and we are looking like a future juggernaut now. I'm going to try to cook up a trade here. Mikhail Sergachev for Reinbacher and Gooley from Les Montréal des Canadiens. Esti de Tabernac, oui, oui, oui. It is a done deal. We give up a guy that doesn't really fit our timeline for 2 younger players that will grow into studs, and now this D-core is looking filthy. It was indeed an off-season of change here in Utah, but honestly, for the better, considering the fact we had back-to-back pretty rough seasons. But now we can move forward with the lone goal of winning a Stanley Cup. First, we got to make the playoffs. Then we can start worrying about capturing glory. Shorzy has grown all the way up to an 80 overall. He'll be alongside Cooley and Keller yet again. We'll go Gunther, McKenna, and Pekturka. Hayton alongside Schmaltz and Tanev. Actually, Seneca, you can throw up there. He's honestly a better option. And then TJ Ginla. He'll center his own line on the 4th line. Defensively, we got to figure out who fits well together. Kane and Mintakov Mintikov, Durzi, Zellweger, Reinbacher, and Gooley. That is a D-core of the future. And then LaPecca Pasta, already up to a 76 overall. He's only 20 years of age, and the man is standing at 6'7". Keller, I'm going to wait to extend. All right, Clayton Keller's the one guy we got to bring back. How much does he want? He wants $14 million. Oh my. The contracts here in Utah are about to be crazy. Can we get him down to at least like 12.5? $12.5 million over the next 8 seasons. He's a 91 overall. He was our captain. That wasn't until Shorzy arrived. That is a very big contract that I just gave out. Maybe I shouldn't have had a clause in the contract. It would have made it a lot easier to make a trade. It is what it is. All right, Chris Knobloch, we need to get our head out of our ass and make the postseason. Looking at the roster on paper, there's some kinks to work out, but this team is good enough to compete for a playoff spot. That's what I'm talking about. Make the cup finals. Just add on the pressure for Knobloch to get us to a cup final appearance. Who cares? It's not me in that position. I can fire the guy whenever the hell I want to. And Clayton Keller will return to Utah long term as we locked him up on a massive contract extension. The Utah Hockey Club honestly should go back to that name because that's what we are right now. Literally a hockey club that is 5-17 to start the season. Things are just not going that well here in Utah. And that was to be expected, having a 50 overall goalie start out and a 50 overall winger on our top line. It's going to take some time. We know that. Back-to-back-to-back shit seasons by Utah. 26-52-4 was our record. 56 points. Bottom of our division. And yet again, the basement of the National Hockey League. We have not improved. We're going to get another high draft pick, so can I really complain? As long as Shorzy and Pekka are developing, and they are, 45 goals, 85 points, minus 56, and 280 penalty minutes. Yep, that's Shorzy. Keller was a point-per-game player. Cooley had 78. The offense is starting to come along now. We actually have some good players on the team. It's just the fact that we have, what, a 78 overall starting goaltender, which is not that bad now. He's posting an 870 and a 433. That is the single reason we are not winning hockey games, but it's going to turn around as soon as LaPecca Pasta gets up there in overall. Shout out to Nikita Kucherov. He'll have the most points in the league despite being 34. He's going to put up 121. And then we got Mikko Rantanen, a 70-goal season at the age of 31. Mishkov had 67. Bedard, 57. Dear God. Matvei Mishkov should have been the guy that I traded Quinn Hughes for. Now that would have been a pickup. As yet again, another season goes by where we have to sim to the NHL draft. The Edmonton Oilers made it back to the Cup Finals, but ended up losing to the other Florida team, that is the Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh my God. The only thing that's stopping McDavid is literally the state of Florida. Shout out Cale Makar. He's going to take home the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy as well as the Norris. Have yourself a season, bud. The Art Ross is going to end up going to Cooch, Maurice Richard to Rantanen. We got the Conn Smythe going to Braden Point. Joseph Wall somehow won a Vezina, and we got Crosby taking home the Selke. Can I bring back Sean Durzi on a pretty decent contract? He is 29 years old. I want him around, but I don't want to pay him like $6 million. What about 5 mil over the course of the next 5 seasons? I'm giving you some job security here, Durzi. He decided to take it. Unfortunately, we're going to select 3rd overall yet again as the Columbus Blue Jackets. They move up from 6th overall all the way to 1st place. After winning the Selke, his career is complete. Crosby's done. Nick Foligno's out of here. Brendan Saad. Man, this is an awful retiree class outside of Sid. Not a single 1,000-point scorer, and then Crosby was like 22 away from hitting 2K. You should have stayed. I don't think I'm going to be moving up in the draft. We'll stay at number 3 overall. Yonkman went 1st. We got O'Bin 2nd, and then 3rd. Who can the Utah Mammoth select? Do we get a centerman? Do we grab another defenseman? Donald Sims is NHL ready. He has a similar style to Mikko Koivu. Donald Sims is NHL ready and has a similar style to Mikko Koivu. We are going to be adding him to the Utah Mammoth. 81 overall sniper right out of the gate, and that was not a bad pick whatsoever. That defenseman that I looked at, he was an 81 overall and an offensive D-man, so they're pretty similar. It's honestly a pick'em. We got this grinder that's scouted, or do we go with the gem? 2-way guy, elite medium potential. He's NHL ready in 4 seasons. What about Conboy? Conboy, are you ready to go? 5 years for Randy Conboy. I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm going to rely on the 2-way guy instead of the grinder. Medium elite potential at the overall of 58. There's a reason that Randy Conboy is still available, so we will select him now. He's also got medium elite, but he's only a 50 overall. Sucks to suck. Pavel Mintikov will need an extension during preseason, as well as Gavin McKenna. That's going to be tough. They are going to want a lot of money. Keller at 12.5 is not horrible. Outside of that, Seneca needs an extension. Zellweger, Kane will need one in a few seasons. Donald Sims is probably already NHL ready, so he's going to start. Already NHL ready. Why don't you say it 5 times fast, you complete fucking moron? I think it's probably time to move on from Karel Vejmelka, making 4-7. He hasn't really played any games so far, and Pekka Pasta now can take over the starting. It's his crease. Pavel Mintyukov, the first guy that we got to bring back. He wants 12-1 only on a 3-year contract. This dude wants to maximize his earnings. He wants to get paid. Now on a 3-year contract, I'm going to go $9.8 million. I want to make sure I lock up Gavin McKenna long term. We'll go 5 seasons, lower the AAV. We got $30 million in extension money. So realistically, we should be fine signing all these guys 9-6 over the next 5 seasons. It is also time to boot out Vejmelka out the door. Let me bring back, I guess, Nicholas Day. It doesn't really matter. We're getting fleeced. I just got to move off of that contract. This unrestricted free agency class is god-awful. Headlined by Brock Nelson and Zach Hyman. I mean, Hyman's 36 years old now. He's only going to get worse. We got Domi, Tyler Bertuzzi, Capo Caco, Brian Rust at the age of 36. Mintyukov is going to accept my offer, as well as Gavin McKenna. Both guys are returning, and they have been locked up. Not long-term, for at least the foreseeable future. Shorzy is officially a superstar. 88 overall on that top line. Alongside Cooley and Keller, we got McKenna, Pekturka, and Gunther. Top 6 is filthy. TJ Ginla, Benik Seneca, Nick Schmaltz. What about Sims? Donald Sims, slot up there, brother. Defensively, I do want to go Kane alongside Mintyukov. They work well together. We will go Caden Gooley with David Reinbacher, and then Zellweger and Dursey. And a 79 overall Pekka Pasta is officially our starting goaltender. He's only 21. It is time to extend our defenseman. Zellweger needs to come back, and he wants $7 million on a 3-year contract. Goddamn. Salaries are quite literally getting out of control. Let me get another season in the contract, 6.4 over the next 4. I will give TJ Ginla 2.8 over the next 2 seasons. And then finally for Benik Seneca, he wants 4.4. That guy wants to get paid. Okay. We are going to have to lower the AAV, but bring him back at like 4.2 mil for the next 2 seasons. Payday, payday. Knobber, is this actually going to be the season that we make the playoffs and potentially win a series? Probably not, but we can hope. Zellweger, of course, is going to accept my offer. Seneca did as well. And TJ Ginla will return to Utah. We're not as bad as we were in prior seasons, but we're probably still not a playoff team. We're going to have to take our bumps and bruises. We are rolling out a 79 overall starting goaltender, so it's going to take some time. It's already taken time as we're almost in the big 2030, and we've yet to even make the playoffs. Hey, the good news is we were not the last place team in the Central. We went 31, 43, and 8, 70 points on the season. Not even close to a playoff spot, as Edmonton was the best team in the regular season, and at the bottom, it was the Boston Bruins. Suck on that. We were not even close to being last. Would you look at that? Shorzy came all the way from a 50 overall player, putting up 27 points in the regular season, to now being a 54 goal, 102 point man, and he was only a -10. Somehow Keller was actually a +7, 84 points as well. Cooley had 73, Gavin McKenna 62. 23 goals is kind of low, but the offense will come. Mintyukov, Pekturka, Gunther. Once we're a good team and we get good stops, we're not even getting 900 goaltending right now. 392 GAA and 880 save percentage. Pekka did have 2 shutouts and 31 wins, but he's up to an 80. He'll be like mid-80s next season, and then we can finally contend. Matthews will have the most points in the league at 131 and the most goals, as the dude is damn near goal per game. He had 78. Fuck off, EA. St. Louis will end up winning the draft lottery. The NHL is just not going to give us a #1 overall pick again. We're stuck at 6. If they do that, they know that the rest of the NHL, it's pretty much wraps. We're going to become a super team and dominate the league. 6th overall will keep us at bay for now. Do we take the playmaker, the winger, similar style to Patty Kane, and he's already NHL ready? I gotta stop saying that. I fucking have to stop. He is NHL ready. He is an 80 overall. Welcome and dodge. So we got JJ Pekturka. His contract is done at the end of the season. 27 years old, 87 overall. Kane's got to get re-signed. He's already an 86. This team is going to be an absolute wagon in a few seasons, but the only issue will be the salary cap. It's going to be tough trying to manage all these salaries all at once. So we got Keller, Mintyukov, and McKenna. They make the most on our team. Logan Cooley's got 4 years left on his contract. JJ's only got 1, potentially on the move. Zellweger makes 6-4. Gunther 7-3. Pretty much everybody that makes the money. Jack McBain, that is a guy that we can get rid of. $4.3 million. Get that off the books. I don't even care, Anaheim. Give me a 7th rounder. I want this contract off the books, and I want to have enough salary cap to be flexible in the offseason. We got Thomas Hartley looking for $16 million in free agency. Alexi Protas wants 15. Kevin Fiala, fuck off. 90 overall, and he wants 16 mil. That's crazy. Drysdale wants a lot of money. Everybody wants money, including myself. That is why I don't think I'm going to go after anybody. Once we get all our young guys signed and locked up to their next contracts, their second deals, then we can start splashing in free agency. Until then, I got to shut up and just keep my salary cap where it's at. Shorzy has grown to a 91 overall, still with Cooley and Keller. They got that chemistry, +5. McKenna's almost a 90. Pekturka's probably his final season in Utah. Maybe we deal him at the deadline. TJ Ginla's great. Benik Seneca's an 84. Dodge is an 80 with Sims. I'm going to throw Sims up on that third line. Actually, does Dodge work better? Nah, Sims is an 84 overall. He's more so a third liner. Defensively, again, Kane alongside Mintikov. We will go Reinbacher with Zellweger. What about Caden Gooley? Does he fit? There we go. Gooley, Reinbacher, Dursey, and Zellweger. And then LaPecca Pasta. 82 overall. He barely even grew. Nick Schmaltz has to go. He is on the chopping block. I need to find a team. There it is. Toronto. They have some salary cap space available. He barely even plays anyways. Give me a third rounder in return for Nick Schmaltz and consider it a done deal. Why does Kane not want a contract extension? The dude wants $11 million. Is he out of his fucking mind? I mean, we're going to have to give it to him. We are quite literally going to have to give him that contract. 11-2, 5 seasons. He still might end up rejecting. Please, no. The goal of the season is to win the Stanley Cup. We got to start competing now. It's been, what, 3 to 4 seasons already of just losing and sucking. Chris Knobloch, it is your job to turn this thing around. I got you the players. You got to make it work. There we go. Jonas Kane returning to the team on an overpayment of a contract. This Utah team is just not winning hockey games. Bottom of the Central, 35, 43, and 4. The moves, the deals that I've signed, they're just not working. Pekka Pasta has to get better because as of right now, he's not good enough to lead us even to a playoff spot. The man is letting in way too many goals. Could be the fact that I got him playing all 82, but I wanted him to grow as quickly as possible. Maybe we go back to auto-rotate goalies. Clayton Keller, he was good. 24 goals and 93 points. Shorzy kind of took a step back. 46 and 81. Cooley had 72. We got McKenna with 71. Gunther 68 and 32 goals. Mintikov did his thing on the back end, carrying us offensively. And then goaltending-wise, an 888 save percentage. He did have 5 shutouts and a 361 GAA. I'm going to try next season rotating the goaltenders. That might end up doing the trick. We got Leon Draisaitl with the most points, tied alongside McDavid. They both had 137 on the season, but Matthews, him and Bedard, the most goals at 6-7. Leon had 62, Thompson 60, Adam Fantilli's growing into a stud of his own. Edmonton will grab their second cup of the video as they beat the Buffalo Sabres in 6 games. I mean, to be honest, Connor McDavid could have 4 cups already in this simulation. The man has been on a tear. Draisaitl will take home the Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews, Maurice Richard, Werenski's going to take home the Norris, Savoy, the Conn Smythe. What? Devin Levi, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Vainanen. The Utah Mammoth are going to stay at 4th overall in the NHL entry draft. Greatest American-born player of all time, Patty Kane, is done on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Scheifele is retiring in Winnipeg. Nuge with Edmonton. O'Reilly in Minnesota. Yossi on Nashville. And then JT Miller. Is he still the captain of the Rangers? They're probably still getting shut out on home ice. We are getting top 5 pick after top 5 pick, and we're still not a playoff team. 4th overall. Give me somebody good. McNeil, Chuck McNeil, 2-way defenseman, medium elite potential. He's got a similar style to Victor Hedman, and he's 6'3", an absolute monster, 81 overall. I think all the top 5 picks are like 81, 82 overall. Julian Scoville, 2-way forward, elite low gem. Welcome to Utah. 67 overall. C. Dempsey has to be one of the best names that EA has ever generated. And he's not a bad player. 59 overall, top 6 medium defensive defenseman. We got 13, damn near 14 mil in salary cap to spend. I believe JJ Pekturka, yes, unrestricted free agency. He does want to come back, but we got to re-sign Reinbacher next season. That's going to be tricky. A lot of these contracts are coming off the books. Do we even re-sign JJ? We got Pekka at least for a couple more seasons. 2 more years at 4.8 before he wants an upgrade. Things are going to get very challenging. 7.4 is not horrible, especially because I can lower this AAV. We can get the guy down to like 6.7, even lower, honestly. Let's go 6.625 over the next 5 seasons. That is a more than fair contract. It's an absolute no-brainer that he accepts. Free agency hasn't even been that great for for us. All these players want too much money. We got to re-sign our young guys anyways. Maybe we grab like a solid backup goaltender. Sergei Bobrovsky at the age of 41? Hell no. Give me the beast that is Dennis Hildeby. No, I'm taking Tristan Jarry. 81 overall, 35 years of age. It makes like no money at all. Basically league minimum. We are, of course, going to re-sign Chris Knoblauch to a contract that's probably way too expensive, but it's worth it. We are going to go a different first line this season with Shorzy, Cooley, and McKenna. Pekturka will play alongside Keller and Sims. Gunther, actually, Gunther's got to go up there. The man is an 89 overall. Third line, we got to go Seneca, Aginla, and Sims, and then Desaulniers, Heat, and Dodge. Dodge this! Defensively, yet again, we got our top line D pair, Kane and Mintikov, and then we'll go Hayden Gooley alongside David Ryanbacker. No, we'll go to the young guy, Chuck McNeil, with David Ryanbacker. Dursey and Gooley is all fine. And then Pekka Paste, 86 overall. I'm turning on auto-rotate goalies. This should be the season that we finally make the playoffs. Why does everybody want so much money, man? Donald Sims, what have you done to deserve $8+ million? I'm going to give you an $85 million deal, 3 years, take it or leave it. TJ Ginla's another guy that wants to come back. Luckily, he wants an extension, and he only wants 3.7. That's more like it. Luckily, Benik Seneca doesn't want a big deal either. We can go no movement clause and bring the AAV all the way down to 3.175. Not bad. Bad news is Ryanbacker wants to be paid. What if we go 3 years? We can get 3 seasons out of him at $7.1 million. Ryanbacker will accept. Donald Sims is coming back to Utah. TJ Ginla accepted my offer. Listen, all the NHL players, they love GM pasta. I swear to God, if this is not the season we actually have a winning record, I know we're 4-1-1 to start the season, but I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. That can easily come back down to earth. I just want Utah in the playoffs. This is the first trade deadline that I've actually hopped into, and I'm not that impressed. I mean, Jake Neighbors, he'd be okay. 88 overall power forward. Makes a little bit too much money, though. Like, we are so cap restrained that I got to be careful on who I trade for, just in case that I don't have the salary cap. Could we potentially bring in Jake Neighbors, maybe as a few-year rental? We'd have to give up our first-round pick, but I'm not going to do it for 2031. We will go a 2035 first-rounder, throw in some seconds. I haven't really made a lot of trades, so I got all of my draft capital, and let's see. If we retain salary or they retain salary, we don't have the salary cap to retain anything. At 50% retained for Jake Neighbors from St. Louis, and yeah, it ain't going to happen. Maybe if I throw in another first-round draft pick, this could go through, even with all the retained salary. No, I don't think they want to retain that. Holy shit. The Utah Mammoth are a playoff hockey team. 45, 26, and 11. 101 points. We can't be stopped. The Dallas Stars, top of our division, they did okay. But I gotta be honest, I don't really care about anything outside of the fact that we're actually playing some meaningful hockey games. Oh, I've been waiting for this the entire video. We were led by P. Shorzy, 66 goals, 106 points, plus 11, 249 penalty minutes. That man was gooning. Gavin McKenna had 89, Cooley 87, Keller was great, Gunther was the guy was decent, I guess. Mintikov took a little bit of a step back, Seneca had 18 goals, Pekturka 22, and Pekka passed a 44, 26, and 11, 5 shutouts. I literally forgot to turn off auto-rotate goalies. In the end, it did not matter. McDavid's gonna win the Art Ross, having the most points at 122, and there it is. Shorzy, the most goals at 66. The man started out as a 50 overall, grew all the way up to a 92, and won a Maurice Richard. You gotta respect that. Oh no, we have the Edmonton Oilers in round 1. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are still there too. Now, obviously, Edmonton has McDavid and Draisaitl dry down to a 93. Thank God. They also have Matt Savoy on their top line. Jimmy Snuggerud on the second line with Ike Howard and Trent Frederick. Ain't no way Freddie's a second line player. The rest of the forward core, I'd say we are much deeper. Defensively, Bouchard is a 93. They still have Wallman. Everybody else is new though. And in goal, it is Carter George at an 84 overall. Man, what is it going to take for Edmonton to get an elite level goaltender? After looking at their roster, I honestly feel a little bit better about this playoff series, although it's still going to be tough. McDavid and Dry are going to cook. We can't really stop them. We're down 2-0 right off the hop. We have never won a playoff game in franchise history as we walk into game 4 on the verge of getting swept. Nice. First period, we are down by 1. Second period, we respond. McKenna, Aginla, Gooley, and Seneca, and all of a sudden, it is a 5-1 stomping by the Utah Mammoth. First ever playoff victory in franchise history. I don't believe it. We are still down 3-1. The odds are we're going to lose this series. But hey, at this point, I don't even care. We honestly exceeded expectations, finally making the playoffs. And we are going to give the Edmonton Oilers a run for their money. We are going to a Game 6. Now, I don't want to get my hopes up because then I'll be let down if we lose this game. But man, we bring it to 7. Anything can happen. Oh my God, the Utah Mammoth have forced a Game 7 after being down 3-zip. EA Sports, y'all are not fooling me. We're getting a big fat L in this Game 7. I know exactly how it works. You always crawl your way back into the series and then get heartbroken in Game 7. There it is. A lead for the Edmonton Oilers. They haven't had a lead. There it is again, Connor McDavid. They have not had a lead since Game 3, I believe. But now all of a sudden the wheels fall off the bus. Connor McDavid takes over and the Edmonton Oilers are moving on. Donald Sims, our best player in the first round. Damn near point per game. He had 6 and 7. Mintyukov had 6 apples. Shorzy, I mean, it's his first ever playoff run. He's going to get used to it. The man had 13 penalty minutes in 7 games. Gavin McKenna had 5 points. Keller 5. A lot of these guys are still extremely young, including our netminder. 904 save percentage, 338 GAA. Yeah, it's going to take a few playoff series for Pekka Pasta to start getting the hang of it. It's all right, though. We got time. Vegas, on the other hand, they don't have time. They won a Stanley Cup against the Columbus Blue Jackets in a Game 7 scenario. Fuck you. I don't know why I said that. Somehow, Ovi on Vegas is going to win the Ted Lindsay. We got Shorzy, the Maurice Richard, McDavid, the Art Ross, Jack Eichel, the Hart Trophy. Evan Bouchard wins his second Norris, Eichel the Conn Smythe, Levi the Vezina, and Vainanen. Is this the new Sasha Barkov? Contract-wise, I believe everybody is signed. Caden Gooley needs an extension. He wants to come back, which is good, but we do not have the money to offer him a $6.7 million deal. Here is where the salary gets a little bit tricky. These long-ass Sims, man, every single time I run into salary cap trouble. Pekka Pasta has 2 seasons left, actually 1 year left, and then he needs to be re-signed, and he's only 24 years of age. Montreal, via the Boston Bruins, are going to win the draft lottery. Boston got to be slow as hell. Steven Stamkos will retire as a member of the Capitals. Kopi's gone. Tavares is done. Artemi Panarin, who was never even drafted. Gotta be one of the better undrafted players of all time, possibly. Put down in the comments below. I mean, technically, Wayne Gretzky was an undrafted player to the National Hockey League, but we're not gonna go there. This is the first time we do not have a top 5 pick, and we're picking 23rd overall. 2A defenseman Bohinski, elite low. All right, just for the memes, just for the name, welcome to the team, buddy. Now, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to bring back Caden Gooley, but we also have to remember TJ Ginla will need an extension. Pavel Mintyukov. We are cooked. It is going to be tricky bringing everybody back. We actually might have to make some moves. Gooley's probably gone. We're not going to sign a backup goaltender. Pekka Pasta is the guy now. Let's go ahead and let's clear some cap space. So we got Keller making 12. Oh my God. Kane, 88 overall, making 11-2 for the next 4 seasons. Mintyukov's got 1 more at 9-8. Dylan Gunther could be a guy we move, although he's only 28 years of age. We are still an extremely young team. Sean Dursey, I'd love to get rid of at this point at the age of 32. It's not going to happen. He's got a no movement clause. Let me go ahead and make a trade. Donald Sims is younger than Ike Howard, but he's not better, and he definitely makes a whole lot more money, so I'm going to have to add in some picks to make it go through. A 3rd, 4th, and a 5th for Ike Howard from the Edmonton Oilers. No! You bastards! They are really going to bleed me of a 2nd rounder. 2033 2nd round draft pick, and consider it a done deal. We'll see you out on the ice. I know we ain't seeing y'all in the Cup final, you bums. With the cap space that I just cleared, let me see if I can re-sign Caden Gooley. He won 6.8. Let me lower that, give him a full no movement clause, and we will have basically our entire core locked up. 5.950. Shorzy, McKenna, and Keller on our top line. 93, 92, and 90. Cooley now has been demoted. Gavin McKenna is a little bit better. Pekturkin, Gunther, Seneca, Howard, Ginla. I mean, that is the best top 9 in the entire league. And then our 4th line's pretty decent also. Defensively, we're good. Extremely good, dare I say. And in goal, we have a legit number 1, 88 overall, Pekka Pasta. It is your time to shine. No more excuses. Oh my, I don't even want to know. Mintyukov, 13-1. I mean, we have the money. Let me lower the AAV. He wants to come back, but do you want to come back on a cheap-ass contract? 12.4 over the next 6 seasons for Pavel Mintyukov. He better fucking accept. And then Pekka Pasta wants a $10 million deal. Great. Just fucking great. We don't even have the money to offer this to him. Let's go 2 years. He wants, oh my God, he only wants 6.5 for 2 seasons. Okay. We can make this work. I will get Pekka Pasta on a bargain contract. He only wants 6.5 for 2 seasons. So let me lower that AAV and then we'll have to re-sign him again. But that's okay. 6.125 for the next 2 seasons. Oh, buddy. We got Mintakov to commit long-term. Looking at our roster on paper, this has got to be the season. Our D chemistry is off the charts. And then forward-wise, we are absolutely spectacular. The best top 9 in the entire league resides in Utah. About time I can actually go all in at one of these trade deadlines. Ooh, Brandon Hagel, 90 overall. Do we do it? He's definitely going to be a little bit high with his cap hit, but he's going to be a rental, so they will want to retain some salary. Let's give them a first, a third as well. Get them to retain probably 50% of the salary, right? We got a first, a third, and a fourth for Brandon Hagel, and no, it's not going to go through. What if I add in one more second-round draft pick? It's a done deal, baby. Back-to-back playoff appearances, 43, 32, and 7, 93 points on the season. Solid. Minnesota's going to win our division with 51 wins, and for the entire NHL, we got Edmonton yet again. We got to get through those goddamn Oilers. Shorzy had 58 goals, 92 points, led our squad. McKenna, I mean, dude, you're asking for big boy bucks. You're a big boy yourself. Pause. 92 overall at the age of 24. You got to be at least a point per game. Keller only had 73. Hagel was great, but that was mostly in Tampa Bay. Had 10 points in 19 games at Utah, and he was a 30-goal scorer on the Lightning. Dear God, we just picked up a demon. Ike Howard had 30 goals and 65 points. Cooley only 64 after getting demoted, and for Pekka Pasta, 43 wins, 2 shutouts, and only a 901. Is that his best save percentage? Oh my God, it is too. This guy doesn't have the greatest track record of all time, eh? 113 is the amount of points that Kyle Connor had, the most in the NHL, and the most goals also at 68. That dude had himself a season at the age of 35. Great job, EA. Absolutely zero regression at all, but every time Connor McDavid hits the age of 32, that man starts to decline. Thankfully, we have an easier matchup in the first round up against the Winnipeg Jets. Of course, they have MVP Kyle Connor alongside Brad Lambert and Mikael Granlund. Yeah, this forward core is not anything special. Defensively, Pionk's an 89, but Morrissey's washed. And in goals at Hellebuyck, oh my God, okay. Logan Thompson is not bad. He's 35, but he is an 88 overall. He can steal him a few games. Thankfully, we got by Winnipeg in 6 games. Moving on to Vegas. And no, not to gamble. Eichel, Marner, and Ovi on that top line. That is filthy. Second line's decent. I mean, Volochenkov is an 86 alongside DeBrusk and Dorofeyev. Bottom 6, we got them covered. Defensively, we are a whole lot better, but they have Johnny Goalie, 90 overall trader. What is his contract? It's got to be like 15 mil. Tell me it's 15. It's 7-7? That bastard, man. I'll never forget him for sliming me out for like 13, 14 mil. Oh my God, Utah might be a wagon. A 5-game gentleman sweep against Vegas, just like the Oilers did last season. And then we move on to play the Seattle Kraken. So they got Protas, Tolavainen, and Ubin on their top line. A lot of young guys on the roster. It doesn't look that impressive, so they're obviously simulating well. Defensively, they don't have much, and in goal, I mean, dear God, how did this team make the conference finals? This is how you know EA is favoring one franchise. There's no possible planet other than NHL 26 that this team is a conference finals team. Well, what do we have here? The Utah Mammoth have beaten Seattle in a Game 7, shut their asses out, and we got the Columbus Blue Jackets in a best of 7 to finally get it done after all these seasons. The talk is over. Well, they got Luke Yonkman on the squad, 94 overall, 22-year-old, alongside Fantilli and Marchenko. That's a dynamite top line. Not a bad second-line center, and Kent Johnson alongside Goucher and Dumais. I think overall we have them covered. They do have a 92 overall defenseman, which we don't. But we do have a better goaltender, better D-core, and a better forward core. This has got to be the season. Come on, Utah. A 3-0 lead in the Cup Finals. We're at home in Game 4. This has got to be the game. Stanley Cup in the building, first period, and it's the 2-2 tie. Shorzy and Pekturka, second period. It is all knotted up at 2. We have ourselves a game. The Mammoth can finally get it done, rebuilding a team with 250 overall players with franchise high potential. No! Kirill Marchenko on Pekka Pasta. And then Adam Fantilli will add the insurance marker, extend the lead to 2. We're not winning the Cup on home ice. That is a fact. Unless we get it done in Game 6, but I don't want that. Let's try this again. First period, down by 1. All right, EA, you're testing my patience. Second period, we're still down. We didn't trail a lot early on in the series, but ever since I started hopping in, ever since we got close, and there it is, Luke Yonkman extending the lead. I mean, that's pretty much going to do it. We are going to have to go to a game 6, huh? Yep, game 6 back in Utah. If we have to go to a godforsaken game 7, I'm going to lose my mind. Gooley and Seneca, second period. All right, baby. Plan the parade. Let the celebrations begin. Clayton Keller, thank you very much. The Utah Mammoth have finally got it done under the wing of GM Pasta. This team has been rebuilt. The challenge has been completed. I have won a Stanley Cup here in Utah. Now, obviously, they were already a very good young team with a bright-ass future, adding in 2 franchise-high players, albeit they were 50 overall, one of which is Shorzy. Why is the guy wearing 74? 18 goals, 37 points. He's got his wrong fucking number on, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to end up winning the Conn Smythe Trophy, our most valuable player for the playoff run. He started out as a 50 overall, as well as Pekka Pasta, and honestly, it kind of helped us out. We were bad for the first, 3 to 4 seasons, racked up all the best young prospects that the NHL has to give, and then over time, we just built a Stanley Cup champion in Utah. Potentially could have been a dynasty. What did Kanye say? I guess we'll never know. It is nice to see the Utah Mammoth get it done. Obviously, have to hand it off to the goaltender, the backbone of the team. Why does he have the wrong pads? What is going on, man? This video is all over the place. Pekka Pass is wearing 87. Shorzy is wearing 74. He's got the wrong fucking pads. Like, what in the world? Logan Cooley got drafted here a long time ago. Took him a decade to win the cup, but hey, those bad seasons in the mid-2020s were not that bad when we think back. If it all resulted in a Stanley Cup, it is worth it in the end. And then the guy we paid, Jonas Keene, I think his name was. Oh my God, he's got gray hair. The man, the myth, the legend, the $11 million man, Keene, our defensive defenseman to pair alongside. Who is he pair alongside? I don't even know. It does not even matter. The Utah Mammoth are Stanley Cup champs, baby. He's Shorzy, the man, the myth, the legend. Only had 59 penalty minutes in 24 games. Thank God. He calmed down a little bit. 18 goals, 37 points. Cooley had 32. McKenna, 28. JJ Peterka had 13 goals on the second line. Gunther was decent. Keller wasn't that great. Ike Howard chipped in. Oh my God, where is he at? Brandon Hagel, 5 points in 24 games. 90 overall player. I gave up a first rounder. I mean, the dude was only playing 11 minutes a night. But still, I expected a lot better production than that. And then if we take a look at Pekka Pasta, there it is. 932 save percentage, 3 shutouts, and 16 wins. He showed up at the age of 25 and the overall of 89. Kyle Connor's going to take home every individual award. We got Adam Fox, the Norris, Shorzy, the Conn Smythe. Carter George is going to end up winning the Vezina, and then the Selke is going to go to Marco Kasper as the Utah Mammoth get it done in the Big 2032.